today we're gonna do a glamorous going out pinup look. Let's get started. I already cleansed my face with those wipes that have toner and moisturizer and all that stuff in it. I did it about 10 minutes ago, so I had enough time for everything to absorb. If your face is already clean, then all you need to do is moisturize. Start with a foundation or a tinted moisturizer. So I squirt it on my hand. This is about how much you will need. And then I'm gonna take my finger. I'm just gonna spread it evenly on my face. I prefer a tinted moisturizer. I feel like it's a little less heavy on my skin, makes my skin break out less, and it looks a little more natural in my opinion. At the end of the video, I will show you all of the products that I use, so if you want to use the exact same things, you can see what the packaging looks like. And I think everything I'm using is from either Target or Sephora. Make sure you do your eyelids. They are naturally very opaque or see-through, so you can see the blood vessels going throughout them, which we need for circulation, but not for glamorous makeup. Also, don't forget to blend down your neck. Your foundation or tinted moisturizer will never be the exact same color as your skin. It's just not possible. Make sure you let that soak in for about 5-10 minutes. If you don't wait, you run the risk of having it mix with the liquid instead of sitting softly on the top of your skin. Now take your powder brush and your powder. Don't go overboard with the powder. It's purely just a matting technique so that it doesn't look like you have oily skin. Now for blush, we're gonna go from the hairline where our cheekbone is to the biggest part of our cheek. If you're having a little trouble finding it, smile, it'll stick right out. Load up your brush and do strokes towards your cheek and do a little on the biggest part in a circle. Just make sure you blend it all. Do the same thing on the other side. Make sure your two cheeks match. You will look a little odd if one is a touch rosier than the other. Ever feel like you got too much blush on your face and now you look a little weird? Use your hands and blend it into your cheeks. It really sets the blush while getting any excess blush onto your fingers. Just wash your hands. Now for eyeshadow. I'm going to use all the eyeshadows in the classic line of my palette. I'm probably gonna use a little Sexpresso to really pop it as well. Start with Silk Teddy. Really load up your brush with a big eyeshadow brush and just go over the inner corner of your eye, out, get all the way up to the eyebrow. Then use Push Up and go in the crease of your eye with the same brush you were using. Now switch to a slightly smaller contouring blending brush with Push Up again. Just really load up that crease. And then use Erotica with the same brush and add some more to the crease. And this time go out just a little further. You're making an almond shape to your eye. Now use a little Sexpresso and go over the same kind of shape you just did. You're blending together. Now I'm gonna take this small smudging brush. I'm gonna load it with Sexpresso again and go over that shape. And just really blend it all together. I'm gonna take a little more of Push-Up and blend it into the furthermost corner, just to blend the colors together a bit better. Now that I feel like the color is blended right, I'm gonna use my finger to make the right shape. I'm gonna go from here to the eyebrow in a diagonal, and I'm just gonna wipe off all of that eyeshadow. And then I'm gonna go to the inner corner with my finger and get all of that. Blend it a bit in this corner, and look at that beautiful shape we have now. Now we're gonna do the same thing on the other eye. Make sure you get the colors to match as close as possible. I use a finger again and shape. It's literally this part of my eye and this part of my eye I'm wiping clean. And then I blend a little just right there. Right there. Next I'm gonna do eyebrows. My eyebrows are tweezed and maintained regularly. Don't tweeze too much. Pencil eyebrows can really age your face. I try and keep them as close to the natural shape while not having stragglers on the bottom part. I have a little built-in brush on one end of my eyebrow pencil. I use that to make sure everything's going in the same direction first. Then I take this, it's one of those self-sharpening pens. So the natural shape I already have in my brow, just line the top of it. I don't do another line on the bottom because I feel like it gets a little too shaped as opposed to natural. You don't have to get that top line in one fluid stroke either. Feel free to slowly etch it in so that you can get the right shape. Now that the top line's in, we just fill in the rest. Now make sure they match, or at least closely. So now use the little brush and go through your eyebrows, and it just blends all that makeup in so that it's one even natural looking color. Now for liquid eyeliner. Ooh. Don't get discouraged, it takes a lot of practice. The main idea of what you want to get is a line that is complementary to your face for your wing. I tend to find that if you go from the natural upward shape of your eye and make that your wingtip, it tends to be flattering. Make sure that it's not too loaded with liquid. You can make a mistake and make sure there's no hairs sticking out of the end of it. So take it and line your lash line. You're basically just extending your lash line. When I do my line, I start it thick at this corner and I taper it into the line towards the inner corner. Make sure you have a nice, solid line with no bumps in it. Pick the line for your wingtip and then connect this corner to the rest of your eye. Want a more dramatic tip? Just pull it out a little further. Make sure that all of it's filled in between the top line and your lash line. Now just repeat on the other side and try and get them to match as well as possible. Also know that the two will never be exactly the same. Just get them close so that it's not noticeable when somebody looks at you like, hey, that shape's way different from that shape. See how it's a little bit too far out on this bottom part? Wait for it to dry so that it doesn't smear the rest of your eyeliner, and then just use a Q-tip or your finger and wipe it away. Now that it's dry, or dry-ish. Now that I've cleaned it, I can repaint it to match this eye. It's all about patience and attention to detail. Now, mascara! You could put fake lashes in if you want to feel extra glamorous, but I have pretty long lashes normally, so I tend to only do it for very special occasions or photo shoots. Now take your lip liner, make a V in the middle. Try and make that V symmetrical. Now go from the top and follow your natural lip line. It almost looks like a Super Mario M. Then do the bottom. Do this middle section. Try and get the end of this line to get to that line. Then, once you like your outline, fill in! The waxy texture of the lip liner helps it not bleed and stay on a little longer. So I feel if I paint my entire lip before I put my lipstick on, it tends to have a better all-day wear. Just make sure that you don't paint the liner on too thick, because then when you put on your lipstick it gets a little too layered and then it starts to flake. Since our lips are all filled in with liner, take your lipstick and put a layer in the middle part. Let the lip liner do its job. Don't put lipstick too close to your outer line. That's what the liner is for. It's to keep your lipstick from bleeding onto the rest of your face. Now give it a few minutes to dry before you put the sealant on. Now, I only put on a little bit of a clear coat simply to seal it in. If you want a super glossy lip, then put a lot on, but I like more of a matte lip. Hello! 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 First, take your lip liner. Pondering the thoughts of the world. Oh, fancy seeing you here.
Intro.
Oh yeah, you